The latest neuroscience is revealing something incredible. For a lot of us, our brains are physically structured for financial struggle. They get tuned to a frequency of scarcity and stress, which makes it nearly impossible to build, keep, and grow wealth. But here's the good news. The part they don't teach you in school, that's not a permanent state. You can literally change your brain. I'm going to show you the 5 simple, science-backed habits that will physically rewire your brain for wealth. And why habit number 4 is the reason most people never break the cycle. Alright, so let's dive in. To rewire your brain, we have to start with the foundation. If this isn't right, the other 4 habits won't even matter. Habit number 1 is embrace extreme ownership. The most common program running in a brain wired for scarcity is the victim program. It sounds like this: the economy is terrible, my boss doesn't pay me enough, or it's just not fair. When you blame outside circumstances, you're handing over all of your power. Neurologically, this is a disaster. A victim mindset keeps your brain in a reactive, defensive crouch. This state suppresses the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain in charge of creative problem solving and proactive planning. You literally can't see a way out because your brain has shut down the very part of it designed to find one. The antidote here is a habit that millionaires practice relentlessly: extreme ownership. This is the simple, yet profound, belief that you are 100% responsible for your financial outcomes. Not 80%, not 99%, 100%. The moment you declare this, you switch from being problem-focused to solution-focused. Studies on possibility thinking have shown this shift can dramatically increase your creative problem-solving abilities. Your practical step is a 10-second daily action. First thing in the morning, say out loud, I create 100% of my financial outcomes. Then, every night, take 1 minute to journal one ownership win. It could be as small as, I chose not to blame traffic for being late and left earlier instead. This simple repetition starts forging the neural pathway of a creator, not a victim. Now, once you've taken ownership, the next step is changing how you actually see money. That brings us to habit number 2, shift from time trading to value creation. Most of the world is trapped in the time trading mindset. I work 1 hour, I get paid for 1 hour. It's the classic employee mindset, and while it feels safe, it also builds a neurological ceiling on your income. You are trading your life for money, and you only have so much life to trade. And here's the dangerous part. When your brain only thinks in hours for dollars, it stops scanning the horizon for scalable opportunities. It learns dependency. This is why a salary can often feel like a cage. It's a comfortable, predictable path that kills the creative thinking you actually need to build wealth. You have to retrain your brain to think like a systems builder. The wealthy don't trade time for money, they create value. Their brains are wired to constantly scan for problems and frustrations because they don't see them as annoyances. They see them as value gold mines. Here's your practical step to build this muscle. Start a value journal. Every day, for just 2 minutes, write down 3 common frustrations you see in the world. It could be anything from meal prep for busy parents is way too complicated, to finding a reliable plumber is a nightmare. Then, spend 1 minute brainstorming a single scalable solution for one of them. You're not trying to start a business today. You're just doing a brain aerobic by reframing problems as opportunities. This habit alone starts to automate the creation of wealth loops in your brain. But value is only half the battle. If your body isn't ready for wealth, you'll unconsciously throw it away. Habit 3 is practice nervous system regulation. Have you ever gotten a bonus or a tax refund and felt this almost electric urge to spend it right away? Or maybe just seeing a large number in your bank account gives you this weird, low-level buzz of anxiety? Sound familiar? This isn't a discipline problem. It's a biological one. Your nervous system may have been conditioned to see a sudden influx of money as a threat. It can trigger a fight or flight response, flooding your body with the stress hormone cortisol. Your ancient brain wiring, designed to protect you from predators, sees this new level of wealth as a dangerous change. So, you unconsciously find ways to get rid of the threat, bringing your finances back down to a level that feels safe, even if that level is paycheck to paycheck. To hold more wealth, you must expand your nervous system's capacity for it. You have to teach your body that wealth is safe. A powerful way to start is by building a peace of mind fund, just a separate account with 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Automating savings into this fund builds a buffer that calms the financial scarcity alarm in your brain. But the micro habit is even more crucial. Once a day, for just 10 seconds, look at your bank account balance. As you do, take one slow, deep breath and consciously relax your shoulders. Then, simply say to yourself, "This is safe." You are pairing a financial cue with a relaxation response. Through tiny, repeated exposures, you're desensitizing your threat response and rewiring the associations around money from danger to safety. By the way, if this is hitting home and you're starting to see how your brain is your biggest financial asset, take a second to subscribe. We're building a whole community of people dedicated to this work. Alright, here is the real reason the cycle never breaks, even for people who work hard. Habit 4. Engage in lifelong learning as brain aerobics. See, for most people, intentional learning grinds to a halt the day they leave school. They swap books for binge watching. They trade growth for passive entertainment. When you stop actively learning, the decision-making and planning muscles in your brain actually start to weaken. Your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain, gets less of a workout. A less active prefrontal cortex makes you more vulnerable to impulse buys, emotional spending, and short-term thinking. You become a consumer by default, not a strategist by design. The millionaire brain is a learning brain. Research shows that 88% of wealthy individuals read for at least 30 minutes every single day. They aren't just reading for pleasure, they're performing brain aerobics. Engaging with complex subjects, biographies, or new strategies strengthens the neural pathways needed for delayed gratification and sharp executive function. Your practical step is simple. Make a swap. Just trade 15 minutes of mindless scrolling or TV time for active learning. Read a biography of someone you admire. Learn about a new investment strategy. Do a chess puzzle on your phone. This isn't just about collecting facts. It's a workout for your prefrontal cortex, reinforcing your identity as someone who invests in their own knowledge, the highest yield investment there is. We've got the foundation, the value, the calm, and the brain power. Now, we need the engine. Habit 5. Take calculated action fueled by visualization. The world is full of frustrated dreamers with vision boards but no action plans, and burnt-out hustlers taking massive action with no clear vision. Both paths lead to a dead end. Vision without action is just daydreaming. It might feel good, but it doesn't create the real-world feedback your brain needs to adapt and learn. Action without vision is like running on a hamster wheel. You're spending massive energy but going nowhere. Neither approach forges the specific, goal-oriented neural pathways needed to turn a desire into reality. The final habit of the millionaire brain is the powerful fusion of visualization and action. When you visualize a goal with rich, along with the sensory detail, such as feeling the keys to a new house in your hand, hearing the applause after a presentation, you are priming your brain's recognition systems. You're essentially giving it a picture of the target so it can spot the opportunities that will lead you there. But then, you must anchor that vision with concrete, calculated action. Your practical step is a 2-part weekly ritual. First, spend 2 minutes vividly visualizing the successful outcome of one of your financial goals. Rehearse the feeling of success. Second, and this is the critical part, take one small, calculated action toward that goal that same day. Send the email. Make the call, research the topic, treat any failure not as a catastrophe, but as data. This combination of visualization and iterative action is the ultimate application of neuroplasticity. It turns your brain into a self-correcting guidance system, constantly refining its path toward your goal. Alright, let's quickly recap the 5 habits that will rewire your brain for wealth. Embrace extreme ownership. Shift to value creation. Practice nervous system regulation. Engage in lifelong learning, and take calculated action fueled by visualization. Your current financial situation is just a situation. It is not your identity. Your brain is not fixed. Every single day, with every single repetition of these habits, you become a neuroarchitect, physically rebuilding your mind. You are laying down new pathways, neuron by neuron, building a brain that is hardwired for abundance, opportunity, and wealth. You have the tools now. The power is in your hands. If you're ready to stop fighting your brain and start rewiring it for success, then join this movement. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next step on this journey. And as your first act of calculated action, leave a comment below with the number 1 habit you are going to start today. I want to know. Let's build our millionaire brains together.